What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are looking at Bitcoin Cash. Shout out to the Dragon Riders and the House of the Dragon. We had a little bit of an up day yesterday, didn't we? You know, this is on the weekly perspective here. We'll get into the daily in a little bit. We do have lower highs. We do have lower lows. I do want to point out, right, that this high here, we actually tipped it. We bounced right off it. I think Bitcoin Cash is deceitful, you guys. I think it's a very deceitful little coin. You know, just a little example real quick. Here on the daily, let's see. What was it? Where was it? Oh yeah, right here, right? All the way back here. I remember saying on this day, you know, you've got your little like highs down here. You have like this double bottom looking formation, and you got a new high, but really it was just a lower high in the grand scheme of things, right? You can see how it was really just another lower high. But it for a second, it like formed this like double bottom looking thing with for a second looking like it had higher highs. Very deceitful Bitcoin Cash. You've got this very bullish candle that all it did was promote a lower high again. Very deceitful Bitcoin Cash. You had a bullish engulfing candle and then you turned around. You had a bullish engulfing candle. The next day you topped off and then you turned around. You know, the biggest red candle that you see throughout this whole range, that was your bottom. You know, and then the biggest green candle you've seen throughout this whole range, you turned around immediately afterwards as well. So very, very, very deceitful is what the name of this game is for Bitcoin Cash. So I think finding support here looks good for the time being. But if you look at it more like from a more refined standpoint, what we have is lower highs. We still have lower highs. As soon as we take this line out, as soon as we take out that low, we have lower lows as well. And I think that we will. I do think that we take that out. We rejected off the purple line. We're coming down now. We're a little bit a ways from the purple line, a little bit of a ways away from the purple line. On the weekly, we are below the 50, so that checks out in my opinion on the long-term RSI. We found support in that area. Where are we now? Let's take, maybe if we put the wicks right there, right, where we kind of closed. Let's see if there's any significance up here. Kind of a support area, yeah. Maybe that's why we're struggling to move up, right? This was kind of a previous support zone here and even here. And even back here. So if we take that and we look at it now for what it is, we're kind of finding resistance on this previous support zone, right? Like we're here, it was a godsend. It sent us upwards, right? It was protecting us from going lower. Here even, it was kind of protecting us from going lower. We slipped, we faked out, but we came back up, kind of bounced off this area down here, and then we had a nice run up. Of course, only to get eaten up, but whatever. It was still a support zone for the time being. Here, it was a resistance zone. Found it as resistance, and you did make a higher low. Mind you, this did come off of your like cycle lows, the all-time lows too, but the cycle lows, and then you formed a higher low. Here, it was support, and it sent us up. So here we are for the second time in Bitcoin Cash's history, potentially and probably finding resistance on this zone. Could we, like the last time that we found resistance, the only time that we found resistance, be forming a massive candle after we find our low and then resisting it only to form a higher low to really start off the bull cycle for Bitcoin Cash? I think that makes sense. Here's the all-time low, or not the all-time low, the cycle low here. We kind of found a double bottom off it, or maybe a triple bottom, depending on how you want to look at this. And it happened a lot further away, but this was our initial move up after the low. This was our initial move up to like kick off the bull market, and what would validate, solidify, confirm that we are in a bull market would be a higher low, right? Technically we have that here, but it's more or less a double bottom. I'm horrible at drawing straight lines. Even though I did draw that was pretty straight, not gonna lie. But it's at an angle. I can't draw it straight horizontally, right? That's bad. Maybe down, up and down. I can do that pretty well. Anyways, I do think that we're going lower. You guys. I do think that Bitcoin Cash is deceitful by nature, and with that, you know, that can leave things to be like easier expected, right? Just don't trust necessarily what you're seeing. Trust what you're seeing, but don't trust like unconfirmed things, right? And what we have right now still, you guys, is a little bit of disrespect at this 382 area. We've yet to go down and actually find significance on a very common area that Bitcoin Cash likes to find its lows at, or its tops even, at the 618 to 69 area down here at about 148, 150 to 135, so 150 to 135, something like that. It also agrees, this area very much agrees with this previous area of resistance here. That's just above the 6.9 where that line is. If we put it here at these like wicking tops here, that's like right there at the 618. So I do think that, yes, we have a wick here. Yes, we had a wick there. But I think we might get some more price action to come kind of down in here and just like chill there. Maybe we get an immediate bounce. Maybe we hang out there for a little bit, slowly creep down and then move up. But I don't think that Bitcoin Cash is going to move. Come on now. Is going to move like this immediately after it finds its low, right? I mean, it might. Back here, you know, you found your low, and then you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks of moving up and kind of sideways, and then you broke upwards. Then you broke upwards there, right? Is it possible that we're doing that now? We found this, and we've moved sideways 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. We're on our 6th week now, and then we can move up. Sure, it's possible. I just don't think it's going to happen because, again, from there, you know, we had highs that, I guess this was still a lower high, right? We had highs that were higher in the range, but with this week, that was really the thing that kind of determined it, right? We got a higher high here. We were building higher lows. I don't know. It's kind of similar looking, but again, to that whole like false hope narrative that Bitcoin Cash, whether you're bullish or bearish, I feel like it likes to do that. So the fact that Bitcoin, in my opinion, looks bearish is also another kind of signal symbolizing that we could go lower. What Bitcoin does, most crypto does as well, right? As far as direction goes. If we're looking at this thing on a daily basis, the RSI is bouncing off of the 50, just below the 50 actually, because on the daily, Bitcoin Cash doesn't respect its 50 directly. It's more like just above it or just below it that it respects. So seeing that is kind of encouraging. You do have a bullish engulfing candle right here. The last time we had a bullish engulfing candle, it marked our lower high here, and then we turned around, right? We had a bullish engulfing candle here, and then we turned around. We had a bullish engulfing candle here. The next day we turned around. Bullish, kind of a bullish engulfing candle, not really. Bullish engulfing candle here, turned around. Bullish engulfing candles for Bitcoin Cash, they don't tend to be too bullish when you're in a downtrend. When you're in an uptrend, sure. It's good, but in a downtrend, not so much. You know, here bullish engulfing candle down. What were you doing? Oh, you were forming lower highs and lower lows. You were in a downtrend. You start to move up. You get a bullish engulfing candle here, and that was actually good. Bullish engulfing candle here was actually good. So I stand by that. You know, while we're in this downtrend, I'm not fazed by these bullish engulfing candles. It was only a day that was 2.71%. I'm going to maintain the same kind of thought process that I've had throughout this whole range, which is that we haven't done anything significant yet. I do think we're going lower. I just think we haven't provided enough of a movement to the downside to validate that it's happening now. It could happen now. It could happen today. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen this week, next week. Who knows? You know, maybe if we did some like more refined analysis, we could figure that out. I don't know. But ultimately, I do think that we are going to make lower lows sooner than later. Maybe by the end of this month, maybe by the end of October, something like that. But I would expect that toward the end of the year, we would start to turn up. I would definitely think that we find our low before the end of the year. You know, it is September, or it's almost October, so all of October, all of November, and then we got about 3 months to go. 3 months and 5 days to go before this year is over. So I think we find a low by then, if we haven't already. But again, guys, I really do think that we go lower. Where I think we're going to go is somewhere between about 150 to 135. And I feel like I've said enough as to why I think that. So if you guys like the video, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe. I always appreciate new subscribers. I appreciate all the likes too. If you guys have a request or anything, maybe I was a bit confusing, or maybe I left some stuff out that needs to be addressed, feel free to leave it in the comments. I appreciate all the comments as well. Yeah, just another day, guys, in this kind of range of nothingness. I'm starting to let go of my seat finally. Look, I got both hands here. I'm not on the edge of my seat. You know, I feel like I'm a little bit relaxed and feeling more comfortable in saying that this likely will go lower. Now, does it go lower than this line here? I think that still remains to be seen. I think it will, but you know, the thing that I really am, I guess, the most worried about right now is, do we form a double bottom? I think that this double bottom could be the real deal. And right now, how it's like, how I was saying again in the beginning of the video and throughout most of this video, that it likes to play with us. I think one bounce off of that is enough to play with us. But if we get 2 bounces off of this tip right here, I think that's enough to kind of take things more seriously. So we'll see how. And just because we come down here 1 week and we bounce and then we come back up and then find a lower high does not mean, right, that's not a good thing. We could be in the middle of a descending triangle. You never know. You want confirmation before getting too excited about anything. But in preparation for that, in preparation for the idea that this is a double bottom, I am planning to buy some here. I actually set up a buy order right at 169 with a little bit. You know, my biggest order for Bitcoin Cash is still at 145, but I took a little bit and I'm just like, you know, I bought some in this area already. I'm fine with buying more, especially if the risk of a double bottom is there. So if it moves up and I have to buy some higher, it'll just bring my average down. So if not, you know, buying lower will also bring my average down. So, you know, you can't really lose if you look at it like that. But anyways, guys, again, if you like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more, and I will see you guys on the next one. My nose is very, very itchy. Bye-bye.